got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Warner, but Boromant's got the inside.
A guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin still lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Hello everyone and welcome back to PSGL, where it is time for round number 5 of the championship in F5 as well, where we're getting ready for hopefully another exciting race, just like every race this season has been. In the commentary box, my name is Omi. Joining me alongside is Chiz. Hello Chiz.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing on this lovely evening?
Doing very, very well. Getting ready for some more PSGL action. And as I've already mentioned, we were treated to some good racing so far this season, including Las Vegas, where it was absolute chaos on the last 2 laps. So I think we're going to get something similar here in Austria.
Yeah, that is the plan. You may not be able to see it yet, but we currently do have an Inters quali. So that is already the dawn of excitement. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. But yeah, as you said, we've had really amazing races so far. So really interested to see what we get tonight.
Absolutely. Already in the chat, a few predictions coming in. A lot of NLR supporters. NLR will Kirk Mattei will dominate this race, so we'll see what happens with all of that. But love to see already quite a lot of predictions coming in. And actually, if I remember correctly, Chiz, it was actually our first race together in F3 as well around this circuit, and it was affected by a lot of rain as well.
It was, yeah. I guess rain just loves this circuit. It's good.
Absolutely, it does. It's good without the rain and with the rain as well, so I'm sure we'll get a lot of good action. Quickly going through the calendar, obviously we are currently at Austria. We'll be heading then to Monza, then to Singapore, and then we'll be heading into another break, and the final break obviously of this season during the Christmas period, and then we'll be back for Spain, Miami, Silverstone and Bahrain to end the season. So definitely it's going to be action all the way till the end, and a few races here, which we've already done Vegas, then Austria, Monza, Singapore, after obviously the one break week we had going into a tiny bit of a longer one. So as you can currently see on your screen, these are just the results from last time out in Las Vegas. It was Zach Miles who did take the victory, and it was really a tense race where we went side by side to the line all the way for first between Felipe Sauz and Zach Miles and Chiz. That was just fantastic, and that's exactly what we saw, and that's exactly what we did obviously see similar stuff in the real life Formula 1 of a lot of battles on that last lap. Then obviously we did it a few days after Formula 1, and it was pretty similar for us with a lot of action and chaos.
Yeah. I've really been enjoying watching this tier. Obviously I haven't been here for all the races, but I mean Vegas was a really good introduction to it, to how exciting it was, and you can see on the standings, it's close. It's it's a good tier to watch. It's definitely very entertaining. So yeah.
Absolutely. Talking about the standings, here they are in front of your screen. Now, the man in P1, who has an 8-point advantage, Dummy JD, has been promoted, so we're not gonna see him any more in this tier. However, that's closed the gap even further because now we've got 2 points separating Zach Miles and Tyus Korsman. So looking very good at the front of the field, and definitely, I think this is going to be a battle that could go down all the way till the end of the season. That's what we love here in PSGL. But definitely looking very close in the Drivers' Championship. Over we go to the Constructors, then we'll quickly take you through the track map, and then you'll be able to see the track itself. But Aston Martin have a good advantage at the top of the table right now by 16 points. They'll be looking to extend that, with Ferrari right now in second. To the Constructors also looking very good as well. Let's see if Ferrari or any other teams can close it in. Here is the When You Were Racing Gap, 10 corners. A few of them don't even matter really. 4.3, 2.6 miles. So 4.3 kilometers obviously around this circuit, and a few of those corners you're just flat to the floor, including obviously the one up the hill down to turn number 3 of the circuit. Now in your picture you should have some Formula 1 cars as well, as we jump in with Mattia Ria. As you can see, it's wet conditions, and Mattia Ria is right now at the front of the field.
Yeah, so very close already. Only 200ths between the top two, 500ths between the top three. It's really what you like to see in these high tiers of F1. But you can see 5 people at the bottom there, not quite doing a lap yet. So the conditions are really proving to be a little bit tricky for those guys. But we still do have about 11 minutes left of qualifying, so no fear for those guys. They will still have time to improve on their laps. But at the moment, Mattia Ria leads the way. On that note, I just need to go for about a minute. I'll be right back.
No worries as well for that. So Mattia Ria currently in first position, as Chiz just mentioned to you. Another thing for us to mention, we just saw on our screen that DRS did just get enabled, I believe. So we'll be seeing the drivers push on, and there you can see the rear wing open on the Ferrari. Still looking pretty wet, but it seems like the track is improving, or we are at a stage where it's getting wetter. So we'll see, but or it's just getting or obviously. Well, sorry, it is obviously getting dry. I was thinking the opposite, with DRS getting disabled, but no. So, 11 minutes to go in this session, so we are just still in the opening laps, and these laps really don't really matter as much. If the track's improving, then you get improvements all the way till the last second. So that's exactly what we are going to be seeing, so I cannot wait to see how this goes, as we're still watching Seb, as we mentioned earlier, Ferrari in a battle with Aston Martin in the Constructors. They're going to be looking to close that gap, and with that kind of lap, however, the track's improving, as we mentioned, it definitely will help their case, but they'll need to produce that in the race. But qualifying will also be a key deciding factor. But around this circuit, you have 3 DRS zones, each of them having their own detection point, as you would have seen earlier on. So opportunities just keep coming where you might get overtaken. We see DRS battles, DRS tactics coming into play as well on those final few laps. Oof. So it's always very interesting, but I believe Chiz is back.
I am, yes. So, what's going on? Marco Gusek, is he on the lap, or has he just set his lap?
So he's obviously just gone to the front of the field right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just gone to the front of the field. Dart Wader has been able to get into second, but DRS just got enabled, so the track's improving.
I was gonna say, the track looks awfully dry, and about 3/4 of the grid are on those soft compounded tyres, so expect those times to be racing up the charts. We'll see a rush of out laps now, I think, or depending on how long is left, they might only have time for 1 lap. 9 minutes. Oh no, that's perfectly enough time to have 2 laps if they get out now. So yeah, definitely be sure to watch, the likes of Felipe Sousa. I think he's the first one on soft tyres. So the first one to really challenge for those top positions. Victor Wilder is actually ahead of him, who is on a lap at the moment, actually, as he's coming towards turn 4. So he got the memo a bit earlier than everyone else, and is currently on his lap down into third gear of turn 4. Gets a little bit of oversteer on the exit, but won't affect his lap too much. Coming down these long corners, this is where the real damage to the tyres is done, these high-speed, long corners, but he keeps his foot in it, and he keeps it, as he loses the grip there. He doesn't invalidate, but he does lose a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, if the track's not entirely, completely dry, you can't 100% push from what you'd like to, and obviously you're getting used to these conditions as well, so that's definitely cost him a lot of time. He's going to set a 106.2, but I expect they'll be beaten by his teammate, who is on an outlap at the moment. Menno Nielsen, is he on a flyer? He is currently on a flyer in that final sector. He looks like he's coming into the pits, though. Not sure exactly why. He must have made a mistake on his lap. So yeah, I think Felipe Sousa just starting his lap, if you want to take us through it.
Yep, absolutely. So he's also going to be a big challenger as well, and on the evidence that we've seen so far, the improvements are going to be massive, and drivers, even with mistakes, this is how much the track's improving. We've seen mistakes. We saw a big mistake for Victor Vidla, and you can see 9/10 up is Felipe Sousa as he exits through turn number 3 and makes his way down towards turn number 4. The track continuing to improve. So this is going to be one of those qualifying sessions where you see improvements all the way till the last second. Felipe Sousa turns the car in, sees how much grips he has. You can see he's fighting away with the wheel, the rear getting all out of shape as well, as now he makes his way through turn number 6, 7 and 8, follow through very quickly as well, keep it inside the track, and you can see he's up by 3 seconds at the moment. So that's the improvement that he is right now finding with over 7 minutes to go. He's heading down now to the penultimate corner of the circuit, turn number 9. Turn 10 then follows, as you can see, carrying quite a lot of speed, keeps it in track limits through the first zone, through the second zone as well, where you can invalidate through turn number 10 on the entry and exit, and Felipe Sousa, as expected, goes to the top of the table with a 1 minute 4.646.
Yeah, not the cleanest lap in the world, but definitely quick. And I'm sure as the conditions are ever getting better and better, because the track is still drying, as Hasseth in the Haas car there goes first with a 1:04.5. Yelta Korsman, currently in the last sector, hasn't actually set a lap yet, so doesn't have a delta, but he's got traffic in the final corner. He's been completely slowed down, and he's invalidated because of that. Oh, he's going to be furious. That did not look like a bad lap at all. It was a 1:04.3, so he's lost a lot of time because of that, and I expect we'll see a penalty for that. Exafox in the middle sector is just on a purple middle sector. He's coming towards the end of his flying lap. We'll see what he can do in the AlphaTauri. Oh, is he coming into the pits after a not even a bad lap by the looks of it? Not quite sure what happened there, but Seb into P2 in the Ferrari. He's just finished his lap. Alessandro Finn went, as Snakes F1 goes, P1 with a 1:04 flat, half a second gap on the Haas of Hassith. So looking really strong there. That is an incredibly quick lap time, especially in these conditions where it's only just changed to dry. I think he'll be very pleased with that.
Absolutely. So great lap there when required by Snakers, but as expected, a lot of laps coming in. Hassett up to second, Seb to third as well, and then Finn was also able to move up to third at the time. Now obviously down to fifth with other drivers finding improvements. Tristan's making his way to the final 2 corners. His teammate goes right now to the front of the field as he sets a 1 minute 3.571. That's one Aston Martin. Here comes the other one out of the final corner to the line as well. Goes into third. So he's right now behind one of the Ferraris in the field. They're battling in the Constructors' Championship, but some great laps as Danny also goes into second. So we're seeing the lap times now start to come in, and they're going to get faster and faster as this track gets better and better. So 5 minutes to go. You have to make sure that the last run that you're going to get in this qualifying session, that you don't make a mistake, but also getting a good banker in as well is going to be crucial.
Yeah, 100%. So these final qualifying laps, definitely look at Yelta Korsman and Elsa Fox on their last laps. As Matteo Rear, did he just go to P2 or did that happen? I missed it. Something just happened. I think Darth Vader did a 1:03.6 or someone's moved up. Sorry if I missed exactly what it was. But yeah, I was saying, watch Yelta Korsman and Exafox. Those guys are going to be incredibly quick on their laps, but backed out at the last minute or invalidated. So those guys can definitely be fighting for those top positions as well. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult when they don't have deltas, and also the likes of I think anyone from Victor Widler down, they didn't have entirely dry runs or clean runs, so definitely important to watch what those guys can do as well. We don't really know But yeah, watch the top guys as well. We can watch everyone. In these conditions, anything can happen. It's so unpredictable. We don't really know anyone's true pace because they haven't really had the proper opportunities to show it yet.
And that's what we love about PSGL, not knowing who is going to take pole position, and then a close race will also follow as well at the circuit that is very short. So the qualifying sessions are always really tight, and we've been treated to one that's given us very good weather at the same time, with the track improving, because that is much more exciting for us to watch, definitely, because that means that the drivers have to be out there almost at all times, just improving. And we're definitely going to see they've all come into the pitch, but that's because they want the fresher tires for this last run, and we could see and we are going to see the order completely changed as well. So it's Kenu right now in P1, Mattia Ria in second, we have Menno in third, Dr. Wader, Danny, Marco, and then Tristan, Snake, Hassett, and Seb. So that's right now your top 10, but expect that to change. Absolutely every driver right now is inside the pit lane, but with over 3 minutes to go, they will start heading out onto the racetrack soon, with the new tyres getting ready for their final push lap. And this is really going to be exciting with absolutely everyone out there. Jelty Corsman, as you mentioned, and Exafox are all going to be looking for a good lap as well, as they haven't got one. And as you mentioned, they had good pace, but the first few cars now are starting to head out.
Yeah, so it's really dry there, really sunny. So important to watch. Alessandro Finn leading the pack, followed by Mercedes, who's that, Victor Widler, right behind him. So those guys choosing to go earlier. I mean, it depends how, in terms of when you want to go, it depends how dry it is. But track evolution is a big thing. So the track having more grip as you advance through the session, because there's more rubber I cannot speak. There's more rubber laid down. So there's it's more grip. And then also when it's going from dry to wet, it's like entirely new. So track evolution is a lot more powerful. I'm not sure if it's like that in the game. I'd hope it would be. So yeah, it's important to watch these little details that can have a big effect. So, I mean, who's last in the pits there? It's the two Williams. So those guys potentially having the highest track evolution, which means they're going to have more grip, theoretically. So important to watch how those guys do in comparison to everyone else. But yeah, Alessandro Finn leading the way.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are now getting ready to see these final few runs come into play now, with Alessandro Finn starting us off. As you mentioned, keep an eye on the two Williams at the back, and they're all going to be trying to sort themselves out on this outlap. Hopefully Alessandro Finn will not catch too much traffic on this one, just in case if those guys go incredibly slow. But he is beginning his push lap then, as he runs the car up the hill down to turn 1. A crucial lap for the Red Bull man as he tries to join his teammates somewhere near the front of the field. The DRS goes wide open as we climb up the hill all the way down through 2, down to turn 3. You can see the improvement is by just under 2.5 tenths of a second. So he's finding a good improvement to the first. He'll want to continue that through the second sector and through the third as well if he wants to challenge somewhere near the front. The gaps are really close between the top 4. We have a bit of a gap then, and that's what these drivers are all going to be trying to cut down. After this, it should be Victor Vidler who goes on the attack, but you can see Alessandro Finn is approaching cars now who are going to be out of the way. So the two Williams out of the way, Alessandro Finn is up by over 9.5 tenths of a second, so he's finding some great time. You'll want to continue that through the last sector, but there is a lot of traffic through this last sector, so you'll be hoping that no one gets in his way. But there was a Haas standing on the racing line, so we had to change his line a tiny bit, but still the track is improving, and he's gone wide to ruin that lap. Now it's going to be over to Victor Vidler, who is in 14th position. We don't know how much he was held up. Let's see though as he comes over the line. He's been able to keep his lap time clean, and he's heading to the front of the field. 1 minute 3.518. Who else is going to be able to respond? Keep an eye on Kenny. We'll surely get more drivers though who will be heading into that first position slot. Victor Vidler though right now is in P1, and now it's going to be over to the Aston Martin driver to try to take that away, and we'll see if anyone else is able to do so as well. Checkered flag is out at the end of qualifying as we see Gregory now go to the top of the table by 26 thousandths of a second. Kenny takes that away. We're now as well with the 1 minute 3.143, getting very close to the 1 minute 2s. Mattia Ria, let's see what he will be able to do as he gets into the braking zone. He still has a tiny bit of time as well. Marco goes into second, so Marco with a decent lap, but Kenu still ahead of the field by a tiny bit. Mena's been able to go into 6th. Mattia Ria is down by 41 thousandths of a second. That's not what the man who was up there earlier on wanted. Timo's been able to go up into 11th. Snake has gone up to 7th. So it looks like some of the improvements are now starting to calm down as Kryzix makes his way up to 2nd. Exafox to 3rd, so he was able to find a good lap. Seb in 5th. Zach Miles in 4th as they make their way over the line. Darth Vader to 7th. Mattia Ria, though, at the end finds himself over to the front row. And it's now, we'll see if anyone else is able to find anything. Tyus Korsman goes into 5th. And the other Williams invalidated, so he's not going to be able to find a lap time at the end. However, after so many improvements, and we didn't know who was going to take pole, but Kenu has been one of the drivers who's looked strong throughout this session, and he beat everyone by over a 10th of a second to pole.
Yeah, wow, what a performance. In real life, we had a lot of steward inquiries for track limits. I think in the game, we're going to have a lot of steward inquiries for traffic, because there was a lot that I saw there. I was going through all the onboards, so hopefully not too many people were affected, but yeah, it did seem to have a factor, but you can't take that away from Keanu Leotard. It's such a great lap. A 103.1, it's insane. It really is. It's so quick. He'll be absolutely pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely will be pleased as well, especially in this type of session on this very short circuit, which only has 10 corners, and some of them even are, you're really, is not even really a braking zone. So definitely he'll be pleased to beat the field by over a 10th of a second in a session that we saw about 4 drivers inside a 10th of each other. So it's Kenu, then we have Mattia, great lap by the 2 AlphaTauris, Kryzix ahead of Exafox, Tyus Korsman, Zach Miles, Seb, Marco Darth Vader, then we have Gregory completing out the top 10, then Victor, and then we have Snake, Menno, Tristan, Hassett, Timo, Danny, Felipe, Alessandro, and Jelty Korsman. We'll quickly go to an ad break as we get ready then to get racing here at Austria. And you now join us back as we look down in the pit lane. You can see the cars right to the side. But Chiz, how do you think this race is going to go?
I mean, it's Austria. We know how powerful DRS is in Austria, so definitely that's going to be a big factor here. I think, to be honest, there's a big chance that we just get a DRS train. But hopefully not. Hopefully we see some good racing. But we have the next 30-something laps to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. The next 36, I'm going to have a little guess on that one as well. So yeah, we have plenty of laps to figure out how this race is going to end, and quite a lot that can happen as well. As you mentioned, the DRS, very, very powerful, but we are about to find out what is going to happen as the 5th round of the PSGL Championship is 5 red lights away. And we go racing at the Red Bull Ring. Good reaction time from our pole sitter. And Mattia Ria is going to tuck in 2nd position. Good stuff on Tyus Korsman. He's trying to get past Exafox. Not the only one. Zach Miles is having a go to the inside line. But Leotard is going to hold the lead as we make our way towards turn number 3. It is the Red Bull in 2nd position. Then it's Kryzix. And Tyus Korsman has been able to move up to 4th position. Still side by side. The 2 Ferraris putting some pressure on Zach Miles, who still is having a go on Exafox. Very close to the mid-pack. As the McLaren of Timo loses a few positions in the background of our shot. Zach Miles is ahead of Seb. Marco's in there as well. And we're now going to see Victor Riddler going on the attack as he tries to get past Snake to the inside line. He will have a go side by side. Goes Gregory with Tristan in the background. Off the road and wide goes Snake. And that might allow Hassett through. It does allow Hassett through. So he's up to 10th position. Snake down to 12th. And he's still battling with Tristan, who's trying to go around the outside. But at the front of the field, brilliant start for the Aston Martin, who leads the way.
Yeah, great start by him. Kept it clean, did exactly what he needed to do. But it was a bit chaotic on those first few corners. For the other guys, Darth Vader losing tons of positions all the way at the back of the grid now. But yeah, still fighting going on. Everyone's incredibly close together. Yeah, I mean, now it's just a sprint race before the DRS gets enabled, and then they start to slot into that position. So now is really the time where these guys need to get the moves done, and I'm sure we'll see as we approach turn 3 some more moves happening.
Absolutely. So one of the reasons why your pole sitter absolutely drove away from the field might be because he is on the soft compound of tyres. So he's the one on the softs, everyone else on the hards, until this moment as Gregory's decided to come into the pit lane for those medium compound of tyres. Darth Vader also joins him in, so would have got some damage those two drivers. As we see now Tristan having a little look. I think Timo's going to be the one though to try and dish out the overtake on Danny. Danny's going to keep his foot in. And now are we going to be seeing the McLaren driver keep his foot in the long way around of turn 6? Not going to be possible there. So Danny is going to have 14th position. But yeah, so right now, Lita just has to really drive away. He's on the soft, so he's just got to drive away at this stage. And the real battle is for second right now. However, the drivers who are on the hard will be trying to come back later on in the race.
Yeah, so we'll see as the DRS enabled this lap. What starts to happen. I mean, you got the drivers in the lead. I just realised Keanu Leotard is on the softs. Sorry, I completely blanked that. Yeah, so that's pretty why he's being really quick, as I think you touched on that. But yeah, important to focus on because that has given him over a 1 second gap. So he's not going to be under threat from the DRS. As Gregory Prizibil gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. But that means Mattia Ria is now leading the DRS train, so he's going to be under threat and under pressure from the two AlphaTauris behind him. But yeah, they're just going to want to keep it clean. But as you can see, from second all the way down to, what was that, P18, there's just one train.
Absolutely, we saw Tyus Korsman go off the road, run wide. Exafox moves up to 4th position once again. And now Zach Miles will try and apply some pressure. You can see the Alfa Romeo driver is on the back right now. You're going to be seeing Kryzix also try get past Mattia Ria. He'll have a big chance. You have 3 DRS zones around this circuit to make the moves. Each of them having a detection zone. So we'll see if he's able to fight through. And the DRS, as we talked about earlier, is very, very quick. So he's already alongside. He used a bit of ERS there though. So he's going to be moving ahead. Easy pass to second position. And that's what having no DRS means right now. And Kryzik's almost getting inside the 1 second straight away off Kenny. That's how powerful it was. But he was a bit too deep into the braking zone. A tiny bit of a wiggle as well as he got on the power. So right now, he's up to second position, but he's 5/10 ahead as Dr. Wade is the first driver, second to pick up a penalty in this one.
Yeah, look at that, the AlphaTauri of Kryzix under 1 second gap. So he's been using his battery, using the pace to get into that DRS. So now it's just about Keanu Leuthold, who's also deploying whether those softs have enough grip to make the gap again. It's going to be really close, actually. This is a really important factor of the race. The DRS detection point is now, and I think he's just under the 1 second gap. So watch his rear wing. He might have the DRS. He does have the DRS on the start-finish straight, so that is absolutely huge. All that ERS has completely paid off. And also Keanu Leuthold has drained his battery, but he has that gap now, and it's a double... Oh, it's not a double detection, and he's now out of the DRS again. So, I guess it wasn't a big deal. Ignore me then. Gap's 1.2 again, so Keanu Leuthold just escaping that sort of threat there for now. So, it's just now a matter of how long those softs last and what strategy he chooses to do.
The two Ferraris are about to go side by side. We join Marco. As he's going to go to the inside line. Seb really just parked it in the middle, not fully on the outside line. He's going to get close on exit. And they're going to go side by side now. Are they about to continue this battle down to turn number 6? As Marco is going to get ahead of Seb, who is going to yield that position into 8. So the two Ferraris, they're swapping position as in a DRS train if you want. At the front of that train, really we don't see too much moves unless drivers are running wide through certain corners or they're really just struggling for pace. So right now the race is a bit more calmer at this stage, but it does get a tiny bit more exciting as we make our way more towards the pit stop phase, and after the pit stops all the way to the checker flag. But we're still going to see quite a lot of moves for some drivers who are possibly out of position with that chaotic qualifying, all trying to make their way up the field.
Yeah, so that's a really good point there. At the moment, and just looking for other battles, there's a Mercedes of Victor Widler going down the inside of the Ferrari of Seb, just making the move like, oh, he's ghosted. Don't know why that's happened, but now side by side, and I don't think he's got the pace to win that position, so he might have to settle for now. Is he going to send it down the outside of turn 4? Not quite, so going for the switchback possibly. Just doesn't quite have the grip, but he has got the grip and he's got to run, but just hasn't been able to make it work. So just going to have to settle for P9 now. There's a bit of a gap forming between Menno and Danny, guys, so this train becoming progressively smaller. But once again, Kryzik's just under the 1 second gap. He's completely drained his battery. He's on 8% at the moment. But it has worked. He has got the DRS. It just depends. Again, this time, I'm not going to say anything because last time I was wrong. But I think those softs are dropping off, and yeah, he's well in the DRS again. So, I mean, I think if Keanu the top was on the hards, he'd be in the same position as he is on the softs. So I don't know if softs was necessarily the best decision in hindsight, but yeah, he's now got the AlphaTauri within 4 tenths.
Definitely, or it would have been somewhere near this position,
Yep.
and we've seen he's had the pace so far in that qualifying session. Was a bit of mixed conditions, but was really quick all throughout, as incredibly late on the brakes for Kryzik's there, getting right onto the back now with the DRS. You can see the whole field making their way through, all inside a second of each other, other than Danny, who is just about on the brink right now at the moment as he is trying to chase one McLaren. He's under pressure by another, and he is inside 1 second through this part of the lap. He'll be trying to keep it at that as Alessandro Finn and Jelty Korsman battle, and we see the move for Jelty Korsman. We're going to have to look though to the front of the field, because there's going to be a chance for Kryzik's on this lap to take the lead on the exit of turn 1 down to turn number 3.
Yeah, he decided to back off on the main straight, on the start finish straight, but he's gonna go for it on the main straight, coming down the hill. He's got the DRS open. He pulls to the outside. Is he gonna get the move done before the braking zone? Not quite, as Keanu still tries to battle it, but he's not able to do it. And Kryzik's into the lead of the race.
So easy pass there, just later on the brakes as well. We are going to see, as we progress through the race, more battles on the detection zone. Are we about to see the Aston Martin driver send one to the inside line and retake the position? Incredibly late on the brakes, and he does retake the position. Back to the race lead he goes.
Beautiful move there.
Yeah, back in it. Only lost it for a few meters. Back in it now once again. So into P1 goes the Aston Martin, and that's how quick the DRS is. Kryzik's. Oh, he was holding onto the car, and Mattia Ria's now all over the back of him. Zach Miles is having a go. Is he going to brave one to the inside of turn number 9? And that was so close to contact. Tyres Korsman stays ahead, but that was incredibly close to a car spinning there, and both of their races possibly being ruined. But they're all getting really, really close now. So this battle for the lead definitely bunching everyone up. Ken, who didn't really want to give it up for too long, but we do have DRS, so there's going to be a chance for Kryzik as we climb up the hill. This time he's going to sit behind, because he knows if you overtake before that white line, which we've just gone past, it does mean that the driver who you've just overtaken gets the DRS. But this time he was behind, so now he gets the DRS, and now he has an overtaking chance down to the braking zone, and he's gaining with every meter. Defensive shape forced from our race leader. Kryzik tries to go around the outside, tries to get the up and under, but he wasn't able to just cut in time. Zach Miles and Tyus Korsman are continuing their scrap, with Zach Miles ahead.
Yeah, so just keeping my eyes on the front there, the exchange of positions. So even though softs are probably gone, the Aston Martin's still able to fight, and I don't think it'll be long before we see him come into the pits. Not going to be this lap just yet, but those softs are surely going to be screaming in pain, and I'm interested as to what strategy he goes for. Probably the soft hards, because I don't think, I mean, it's 36 laps, I don't know how he's going to make the soft mediums work, whereas everyone else will probably be doing hard mediums. So, I mean, unless they go for hard softs, but I think they'd lose far too much time given how powerful the undercut is. So, I mean, it is interesting what strategy, but once again, he's under pressure from Kryzik, who is back into the lead of the race. So, I mean, that's what we've been seeing the past few laps or so. Just an exchange of positions, but this time it looks like he's going to have to come from a lot further back. Something happened?
Yeah, it's absolute chaos also in the background. Few cars off the road. Kenny trying to retake the lead. That is close to contact. There is a bit of contact on the way in. And that was so close to Kenny losing the car. We're side by side. We're 3 wide for the lead. The Red Bull of Materia makes the correct decision to back out. And we were going 3 wide for the lead as Exafox tries to go round the outside. And he's not going to be able to make that. But we saw about 3 cars off the road in the background of our shot while we were watching the battle for the lead. In the battle for around 8, I'd say. Somewhere around that. And then we saw 3 wide down towards 6. This race is really turning into a brawl, and they're all really bunched together, and that's what's causing it, with a lot of drivers going for some moves, and Zach Miles was even attempting one down at turn 10, but here's the overtaking chances again, down to 1 and then down to 3.
Yeah, Keanu Learnsword, oh, his heart must have skipped a beat, and he's so close to the back of the AlphaTauri then, and they're still fighting as we go down the main straight once again. He's deactivated the DRS. He's choosing not to go for the move yet, so he's noticed that the AlphaTauri is always coming back at him at this main straight, so at the back straight. So he's now choosing to strategically wait, but there's a big gap that he's going to have to close up, and he's not going to do it. He's going to have to still stay in P2, so he's got lots of time, but there's battling as we go 3 wide into turn 4 behind Zach Miles, trying to get the position there ahead of Exafox and Tiers Cosmo. They're still side by side as we go towards the long swooping corner, and the Williams trying to send it around the outside, and he just has the grip and he just has the space. They do make a bit of contact, but he's not leaving any room for any sort of error. But Tiers Gorsman actually managing to get the position there, and that's left Exafox vulnerable to the Ferrari behind, but he's not going to be able to get the move done. He's going to have to go a bit defensive, but at the moment he stays in P8.
That will work for Tyres Korsman. Great move, round the outside, turning it into the inside line, but takes a lot to keep your foot in all the way round the outside. Kenu has stayed inside the 1 second, and now this time, you can see the rear wing is open on the back of the Aston Martin, so this time he might be going for it. Now he's turned it off, so it looks like he's going to wait, because he's waiting for that good exit when you make your way out of turn number 3. Battle between Tyres Korsman and Exafox once again. We'll keep an eye if the leaders do get close, but Exafox and Tyres Korsman are getting a bit too close because they were rubbing front tire to back tire there as well. As we get on the brakes, the yellow flags are out. Darth Vader is out of the race, and that is going to cause our first safety car on lap number 12. So he's retired on the exit of 9 just before 10. So that's not what Darth Vader wanted, but the safety car is out. So I'm sure we're going to see a tiny bit of action now in the pit lane.
Yeah, so that's very big. Keanu Learnsword is definitely in his pit window, so he's definitely going to box. And then it just depends what everyone else does. I'm not even sure what's going to happen. I think we'll see. Yeah, AlphaTauri looks like it's coming into the box, so everyone probably going to fit the medium compounded tyres now. And then it will be a sprint for the rest of the, what was that, 24 laps of the race?
Will be interesting to see them. Absolutely, everyone diving it into the pits. More safety cars later on in the race could also change the game as well. So the medium compound of tyres go on for Mattia Ria then as he makes his way out. No other choice for Leotard other than to go on to the hard compound of tyres there. So absolutely everyone diving it into the pits on this lap. As you can see, the new order, we're going to see Kryzik, Kenu. A few teams would have had to double stack as well. So it's Matty Reed and Zach Miles, Marco, X-Fox, Menno, Tristan, Victor Riddler, and Snake, the top 10 now.
Yeah, so everything being neutralized as we come to the safety car. Anyone not stopped? No, everyone has made a pit stop. So everyone on the medium compounded tyres, apart from Keanu Leotard on the hard compounded tyre, which surprises me. If everyone else is going onto the mediums, why he doesn't think it's going to work? It's very interesting, but he will definitely have the advantage towards the end. And to be honest, when it's a DRS train circuit, tyre difference is not really as important. So they're definitely interested to see how that plays out. And then Felipe Sousa and Jelta Korsman, the two guys on soft compounded tyres in 17th and 18th.
Indeed, so we'll see them with obviously a tiny bit of different strategy coming in for all of the drivers. Most of them obviously electing to go for the medium, but a few different strategies. So we're going to be seeing the race basically continue all the way to the end as well. So basically just resuming off, and before the safety car, it was some really great action. 3 wide for the lead, 3 wide further back. Cars absolutely everywhere. So the drivers were already getting very aggressive. So I guess it's a sign of things to come later on in the race, where where the drivers are going to be going for moves even more. But they're already trying to get themselves in a good position now.
Yeah. So, a few guys hitting. Oh, that must be Felipe Sousa and Jelta Korsman. I'm guessing to do their mandatory try change, they just did a lap on the softs, which makes sense. But those guys are right at the back. It's going to be difficult for them to get back into the race anyway. So, at the moment, your order: Kryzik from Keanu Leotard, from Ria, Miles, Gurchik, I'm going to say, Exafox, Neeson, Dobercourt, Whittler, and Snakes is your top 10. Omi, what are your predictions?
I think I'm gonna go pretty easy and just say chaos.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
probably right.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello to everyone watching on as well. Hello to Pino in there as well from Italy. And do let us know where you're watching from, and also do let us know your predictions as well. I think we can tell from the chat today that NLR are definitely being supported quite a bit. They've got a driver right now in P1, and that's what they're going to be hoping that it stays that way. We're about to see though, because right now obviously no one was allowed to make overtakes due to the safety car, but there will be a chance for some overtakes to come on this safety car restart, but the more overtakes will start coming when we do get the DRS over, but a few drivers will now take their chance and try and make some overtakes. So it'll be Kryzix, then Leotard, Mattia Ria, Zach Miles, and Marco, the top 5. And you can see Mattia Ria just waiting on the back of the Aston Martin. And he's going to be looking to have an attack as Kryzix is going to try and catch Kenu out. We're making our way down towards turn number 9. And it's all about when does the AlphaTauri driver decide to go. There's your answer. Foot to the floor as we make our way through turn number 10 and go back to green flag racing. Mattia Ria has not got the start that he wanted. Fox is going to be putting some pressure on Marco. But more importantly, for the front of the field, the top 2 might be in a battle by the time we get to turn number 3. Now, the ERS is going to be used by Kryzix, is going to be used for the man in second place as well. And let's see, is he going to be alongside by the time that we get to the braking zone? No DRS at this stage, so he's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. And we'll see as we get on the power, move further back. It is Marco up against Zach Miles. Zach Miles holds the position. Marco now tucks in the slipstream. You can see he's using the ERS. He's trying to go to the inside line. We saw Arthur Leclerc have a big crash here in Formula 3 a few years ago in 2021. We're not going to see anything here, though, in PSGL in 2023 in Season 35. As Zach Miles is going to just stay ahead of Marco. No changes between the top 2 as well.
Yeah, so a good restart from Kryzix there. Good reaction times. He's kept the lead. Although I think this is pretty Chiara Little's plan to stay in P2 and just kind of have the stronger tyres at the end, and that's why he can really use them. But yeah, I mean, pretty steady there. Pretty steady restart. Not really anyone having, anyone really losing out, which is good to see. But yeah, we definitely have some people looking to make moves, and it's going to be the same as we saw in those first 2 laps. Those going for, those trying to go for moves before the DRS becomes a massive factor of this race. So that's what we're going to see, hopefully.
Absolutely. So let's see who is going to be now going on the attack. All of them heading into the braking zone. Looks like it will be Tyus Korsman, who has sent one to the inside line of Danny. So that must have been a good move. We couldn't really watch it. We catch the end of it, though. It looks like he's got to the inside line and managed to get his way through. Look to the battle for the lead. Look to Kenu trying to go to the inside line of Kryzix. And that was incredibly close to a move there. So the first time we've kind of seen a bit of an attack on this restart. But surely with how powerful the DRS is, it's going to be really hard to sit in second position. With how close everyone's going to be, at some point he is going to have to take that P1 at some stage. Because if he doesn't go for the move or shuts his DRS, I think Mattia Ria might just use a bit of ERS and try to attack him. So you have to be careful. And it could be, if you want to sit behind it, it can be a really hard position around the circuit to be in. Because you might even be passed as well. And there's so many laps to go, so surely there will be something happening as well. However, obviously, each of these zones have their own detection point, so that means that now DRS gets enabled basically almost immediately once you start lap number 17. And Kenu is going to pull alongside. He is going to get the inside line. He is going to take the position. Mattia Ria was having a go, but he might have opened the door because Zach Miles is trying to go to the inside line. Keep an eye on Marco as well. He'll be in the slipstream. So as we exit, make our way towards turn number 4. Kryzix is going to hold the lead. They're getting closer to him though, because the late lunge is going to come from Kenu, who's trying to get to the inside line. From the defense now to the attack, and he will have to go the long way around. He won't need to now because he's already a full car length ahead after using a tiny bit of ERS. Kryzix, then Mattia Ria is going to be getting past Zach Miles. Not the only one. Marco fights his way through as well.
Wow, so Kellen Little into the lead of this race on those hard compounded tyres. He's going to be under pressure now from everyone else, and I mean, like we saw before the safety car, just the swapping of positions, I expect we'll see that. And to be fair, it's a good strategy for those two because it means that they're more likely to keep the positions, but behind them on the main straight, AlphaTauri of Xbox are having to defend from Menno Nielsen there. And Menno sends it down the inside. Oh, that was a very risky move, nearly goes wide. And that's Martin behind him goes wide. Tristan Dobercourt, and he's now under pressure as they almost go 4 wide as that down the straight, not leaving any room for another car at all. But we've got battling as Mattia Rear trying to go around the outside of Carl Leotard of turn 3, but wasn't quite able to do it. So now Kryzek from Carl Leotard, Mattia Rear is going to have to settle for P3 at the moment, and Marco Gocic in P4.
What are we seeing? Race of the season for sure as it stands at the moment. This is absolutely incredible stuff. The action we have seen so far, we're only halfway through this one, and we still have seen so much action, and we're continuing to see a lot of battles for that P1 spot, and all throughout the field. The P1 spot really backing everyone up, meaning that they're all so close together, and that means that there's a lot of attacking coming. So keep an eye on Marco on the straight. He looks very close to Mattia Ria, and obviously keep an eye for the man in second, because of how powerful that DRS is, will mean that he's having a go at some point as well. Tristan will also be in there as he'll look for a good exit. He's looking close to the back of Menno. So we go down the straight once again. Mattia Ria looks like he's recovered a bit, and he might have a go if Keno doesn't go for anything. Exafox is sending one to the inside of Zach Miles. That is incredibly late on the brakes, but he is not able to slow it down ahead, and instead he might be under pressure now by Menno, who will try and go on the power and go the long way round the outside line, and you can still see in there it's getting very, very close to contact. Exafox behind Zach Miles. Menno is trying to get now to the inside line, which will turn into the outside line, but he's gonna have to back out of that one. And they're all so close together, and all of them really giving it their all. Kind of like it is the last lap, but looks like every lap is the last lap at this stage of how these guys are going at it. We've been seeing so many 3 wides, so many 4 wides, and it's amazing how these guys are still pointing it in the right direction.
Yeah, wow, so great racing between these guys, really entertaining. Definitely, as you said, a contender for the best race of the season. We have 17 laps left, and we're still battles as Exafox going, trying to go past the Alfa Romeo. That had a little look, but didn't quite do the move just yet. Yeah, watch the front, guys, as Keanu Leotard looks like he's going to go for a move down the inside into turn 3. No, he's not. He does decide to refrain.
Oh, Marco looking for it now as well. Materia kind of had to get on the brakes because Keno was directly there, and now Marco's going to have a go. A bit of ERS being used. Now he's directly in the slipstream, trying to get to the inside line. The outside line is the place that he's going to have to go, but he might be able to now stand on the power. ERS now being used. Is he about to risk this now? Down to turn number 6, trying to go all the way around the outside. That will be really, really close. Is he going to keep his foot in? He's very close to the gravel, but he's somehow still in there. They're going to go side by side, corner after corner, wheel to wheel, and fantastic move by Marco, who kept his foot in, refuses to allow the Red Bull to maintain the position, and that means that Marco now is up into third, and we're seeing really some brave moves, and that was definitely one of the best moves we have seen so far, keeping his foot in. Definitely really, really brave there by him, as they're now still onto the straight, and we're going to see more of it now on this lap.
Wow, that was great side-by-side racing. They kept it clean, which is the most important thing. So yeah, we're going to have more battles now as we enter this lap. Really, it's nice to see that we're getting those moves in those slower, longer corners. It really is quite impressive as Exafox fighting with Menno there. A little exchange of positions as Menno goes down the inside of turn 4. He's going to squeeze Exafox as much as he can, but Exafox has kept his foot in, kept it side by side, and he's going to now be on the inside down these long corners. As I just said, so exciting to watch. McLaren still keeping around the outside, but just can't continue. He tries to go for a switchback, and he still is actually alongside. He has managed to keep it there, but he does have to back out in the end. But great racing between those two.
Great racing as well. So backed out early in hope of being able to make the move, heading down to turn number 9, and let's see what's going to happen then on this lap. Onto lap number 22 we go. We're inching towards the final stages. However, it doesn't matter, because right now we're just getting racing. We're getting action on every single lap as well. So different racing lines being trialed as well. Marco's going to be in there. Kenu's forced himself to the inside line. Means that there might be a bit of an attack coming from Marco. if he can get on the power and try and make this move. Kenu might not fully want to take P1. He might have to now. You can see he's being boxed in all the way to the inside line. Looks like we're just going to maintain position on this lap for the first few positions. However, Tristan versus Tyus Korsman's getting very, very close. And it is going to be Tristan who is going to get ahead. But Cryzix now has been able to maintain the lead for a while. Kenu not fully wanting to go for it at this stage. But definitely Marco and some of the other drivers behind will be going for it soon. So if he does need to take the lead at some point, I would not be surprised. Because there will be so many drivers going on the attack behind.
Yep, exactly. So, at the moment, is that Extra Fox looking for him? No, he's just pulling out of the slipstream. Just have a look and just judge what's going on in front of him. Currently in P6 with his ET8 teammate. But down the main straight we go. Are we going to see any sort of position? Carlito's got a good run. Is he going to send it from that far back? No, he's not. As he nearly locks up a little bit, and everyone's so close behind him. Almost looked like they made contact then, but not quite. So Kiara Leotard now going to get another run on Cryzix, and he still doesn't go for it. So he's just maintaining this P2 position, as I think we saw last lap as well. So a bit of strategy there, just a way to maintain the P2 and have us fight more towards the end of the race.
Yep, absolutely. So really interesting now as Zach Miles really tucked up behind the rear wing of the Red Bull of Zach Miles. Exafox is in there as well, and Exafox was really alongside through that part as well. So out on turn number 10 we go. So Snake's been able to get through. Danny's coming into the pit lane, so that might explain why. Tristan's on the back. Different racing lines as Exafox was placing his car all the way to the pit wall. So now very close once again for all of the drivers who are in the top 3. Close still behind as well. So let's see if we get anything on this lap. Kenu getting very, very close, but he's not going to go for anything down to the braking zone of 3. We'll see if it's anything different down to 4. Mattia Rio though trying to fight his way past Zach Miles, and they were going side by side, and looks like he has been able to Exafox now is in the slipstream to try and take P5. Defensive shape forced, defensive shape drone, but that might turn into a move instead because he was on the inside line. Everyone else was following the traditional racing line where there's many cars ahead for Mattia Ria. So he has to get on the brake. Zach Miles with a lot of space on the inside, but he couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, so what I've just noticed, if you look at the ERS levels of the top 2, they have 100%, which is significantly more than everybody else. So those guys really playing it strategically, and when we come towards the end of this race, that's going to become more and more important. So, yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on, but really good ERS management by those guys as Kiana Leotard looks to be coming down the inside of someone. No, he's not quite, as he does decide to back out. I was going to say, very risky move there. I wouldn't try it.
Yep, definitely a very risky move to try, but he got incredibly close, and there were different racing lines continuing as well. Is he now finally going to the inside line? The brakes before the detection point, so that's one thing he's definitely trying. Zach Miles and Mattia Rias, well, I don't even know what part this is at this stage. It's continuing though. That's all you need to know, as Zach Miles is in 4th, Mattia Ria in 5th, and they're all getting on the brakes. And Felipe Souza looks to be fighting his way through. We haven't had time really to show you many of these battles, but when we are showing you them, it's very, very close, as Finn has been passed by 1. Now Timo's trying to make it 2 by going round the outside line, but he's going to be forced into the gravel, and that is Perez and Leclerc style, if we remember. Back to 2021, as Timo was just about holding onto the car as he got a bit of a tag, I believe, from Snake, as Hassett is going to go on the attack as well.
Wow, so all the way at the back there, fighting really going on all the way throughout. My eyes are pinned to the top of the timing sheets though. At the moment, everyone just moving away from the race line to have a look. It looks like they're all going for a move, but not quite. So at the moment, it's Cryzix from Keanu. Those guys still managing the ERS, both pretty much on full batteries. Marco Garrick behind them. Oh my goodness, he's just gone to the back of the Aston Martin. Completely missed his braking point. I was going to say he's got no ERS, but he's completely just gone into the back of Keanu Litt. I'm not sure what happened there. But I think that troubled Zach Miles and Matty as well. As in the meantime, Keanu Litt going into the lead of the race.
Yeah, so he's going to take P1. They still go side by side behind. Extra Fox getting his way past Mattia Ria. Tristan's going to follow through. He has a penalty, though, so that's really going to hurt him at the end of this one because of how close the field is. Tiny bit wide in the background as we're watching from the rear wing of the Aston Martin, who's fighting his way through on Extra Fox. So a lot of wide movement for a lot of different drivers as Tyus Korsman and Victor Riddler are battling. We go on board with Menno, who's trying to go round the outside, and he is going to be able to do so. And looks like Extra Fox, does he have damage? No, he's not coming in, but he's holding up everyone, so he might still have damage. And looks like Mattia Ria's coming in.
Yeah, so, changing strategy there potentially, but I think had some damage, yeah, front wing damage. So, going into the back of Marco. So Marco missed his braking point, and that's now caused Mattia Ria to lose his front wing, or damage his front wing, and he's had to box. He's going to put on some soft tyres, but that is his race ruined. So really unfortunate for him. But sorry, what were you oaring?
Absolutely incredible stuff as we're now 3 wide once again, and Timo was very close down to turn 1 of hitting as he was very late on the brakes. Victor Riddler's having a go to the inside line of Seb, and we were going 3 wide earlier on. We were almost getting to 4 wide. We're 3 wide once again as Victor Riddler's going to lose out. And we've seen a crash, and that was always going to happen. So many drivers battling. Safety car is our late safety car, and if we didn't have enough chaos already, so much happening, and we were going to get to that much. So it looks like we've got some damage and a few cars also into the barrier. So really a big accident we saw there. But now this is going to really change the race. A lot of drivers will be coming into the pit lane. And yeah, it's just one of those races which we're surprised how long they were actually how long they were able to keep it clean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if red flags are enabled, but I mean, I'm surprised that wasn't a red flag if they are. But wow, that was a big impact. Alright. But yeah, that's huge as we see some people boxing to change the strategy. But I mean, yeah, it was absolutely massive impact. And poor Mattia Ria, who literally just pitted a lap ago. Yeah, everyone coming in for the softs. I don't know why it said someone stayed out, but everyone is into the box for the softs. And Kiana Leotord actually in the lead after those pit stops. So Kryzix must have got held up. So that is big. Very important.
Yeah, definitely is as well. But yeah, we were getting 3 wide. So I'm not really surprised that incident did happen with drivers getting pinched all the way to the inside line. So big accident there between a few drivers just battling. But as I mentioned, there was Extra Fox has been given a 5-second penalty. So I'm sure he's going to be coming into the pit lane to serve that under the safety car to get rid of it. Or if he obviously believes... well, if he can get it removed, then he will obviously just continue on and try to get it removed. Overall, to his race time, Tyus Korsman will come under the same category for that as well. We're trying to get it removed, so quite a few penalties coming in, and these results will definitely be provisional. With I think every driver reporting, well, some drivers will even try report some bit of wheel banging moments, getting pushed off, and stuff like that. So I'm definitely this is definitely going to be provisional with how this race has gone, and we still have a few more laps to go to decide who's going to take victory in this one. So definitely not over either.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to ask me for my predictions, I still don't think I could give them to you, to be honest.
Other than chaos.
Yeah, other than chaos. Maybe Kiana Leotord looking really strong so far. So I mean, Kryzix as well. You can't call it. You just can't.
Yeah, it's impossible to call there as well. Into the pits comes Victor Riddler there. So now it's going to be the top 5: Leotard, Kryzix, Marco, Zach Miles, and Menno. As a few drivers dive it into the pits. Extra Fox in as well.
Yep, so Kiana Leotard leading the way as it stands. Safety car probably in this lap. I think it's been enough for it to come in without, the pack necessarily having to be launched up, but I think the pack will be launched up before the end of this lap nonetheless. So we're going to have, if it comes in this lap, we're going to have 7 laps of racing. So it will just be a proper sprint to the end.
Yep, definitely will just be a sprint all the way till the end as well. So cannot wait to see how does it end. So we're going to have Kenu who will lead the field away as we are now coming back over to green flag racing conditions with Kenu, who is going to be in P1, and he'll be looking to hold on to that. So we'll see how he does, and it'll all be about when does he decide to take us back. So we can currently see it's going to be a grandstand finish then to decide the Austrian Grand Prix in round 5 of the season. We're on board with the man who went different with the strategy. Now everyone's on the same strategy, so we're not going to see anything different with that now. So everyone's going to be on the same strategy. Absolutely everyone's pitted for the set of soft compound tyres. A sprint all the way till the end of this race. We are getting ready to go back to green flag racing conditions. There we go, and Leeton has got the jump, so Krajicek does have to recover. Now 0.8 of a second as they come over the line to make their way onto lap number 30 as we are back to green flag racing conditions. Marco is not waiting at all. He's diving to the inside, or the first opportunity, the first corner of this racetrack. 1.2 seconds gap now. Kenu is going to try pull away, but there's surely going to be a lot of moves as we're going to see Zach Miles going on the attack. Krajicek is going to be there as well. 3 wide down to the braking zone. Krajicek backs out. Zach Miles is going to be making the corner wide, and he's going to lose back the positions as he attempted to take second, and these guys are losing time battling for second. Zach Miles has lost quite a lot of positions with that wide moment as Felipe Souza is trying to go round the outside line, and that is going to be brave stuff to try and get past Menno, and it looks like it is going to be Menno who will hold on to that fourth. Incredible racing though, but Marco now does need to get back inside the 1 second, and you can see he's having to use a lot of ERS to do so.
Yep, exactly. So, really close between everyone. Really unfortunate for Zach Miles as well, going wide. You can see it cost him dearly. So, 5 laps to go, or 6 laps even, as we start lap 31 of this race. Marco Gurchik setting the fastest lap, showing he's got pace. He's ahead of Krajicek. So, Keanu Learthord in the driving seat. He's got a 5/10 gap. DRS will be enabled next lap, so that's when we're going to see the move start to come in. So ideally, at the end of lap 31, at the end of lap 35, you want to be in second place and really control when you're making that move.
Absolutely. So if you are right now in a lower position, you need to now start getting yourself in that position to be able to take to have a chance at the end to take P1. So it's Kenu who has 70% ERS, much more lower for Marco, who's had to do all the work. So Krajicek is in a good position, so is Menno. These guys are all in better positions. Marco's had to do all of the work to really gain and get back that gap to under a second. He's got that under a second, but he's surely with a much more less ERS. Could be a bit of a sitting duck at the end, so we'll see what happens with that. But right now, the main focus for him is trying to take P1 on the road. Where do you place your car at the end is also going to be interesting. Watch Krajicek in this. He's going to be on the back as well as we come over the line. DRS now gets enabled. We only have to wait a few more meters to get that enabled and see that into play. There we go. You can see the DRS is opening now, and he's going to have a chance. Watch Krajicek as well in this, who lost out of position on the restart. He'll try to take it back. Marco's now going to be going for the race lead as well. On lap number 32, the Ferrari driver goes to the inside line. Marco takes P1. Kenu might be about to lose and go from first down to third, because here comes Krajicek now. He's going to have a chance. And can we see a fight back coming from Kenu down to the 4th corner of this circuit? He's definitely in contention. He's definitely getting close. He's being pushed through the corner by Krajicek, who's going now on the attack as well. So Marco now takes the lead, much less ERS though, and right now Kenu is all saving it up. So are really everyone in this train, all the way till the end as Snake gets a penalty.
Yeah, so really good racing there. Keanu, you could see, oh, hang on, what's happened? Yelta Korsman spun round. He's going to drop right the way down to the back of the field. But yeah, Keanu Learthord keeping his DRS shut in that second DRS zone. So he really didn't want to overtake him there because he shut it towards the end. So he just wants to keep that P2 and just stay in control where he is now. It's going to be difficult to hold back Krajicek for those 3 laps left before he makes his move for the lead. But if he plays this right, he's in a really good position to win this race.
He absolutely is. No DRS being used once again. Only issue is he's got Krajicek behind. And now we see trying to go round the outside. Felipe finds a gap down the outside line. And he's now going to try and stand on the power to take that position. Menno will try and hang on as well. As we're seeing some fantastic battling behind us. Finn is out of the race. And safety car is out once again. Safety car is out once again. Alessandro Finn is out of the race, and it's chaos. There we go. There was a lot of position changing, but we were focusing on the battle at the front of the field. We have another safety car in this one, our third safety car of the race. And if we already had a grandstand finish, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this one. All we know is we're going to get a very, very, very little sprint to the end.
This is literally the last possible lap the safety car can come out. It will come out for this lap, and it will be in this lap. It will be in lap 34, because I'm pretty sure there has to be 2 laps of racing at the end.
Yeah.
So we won't have DRS, so that's really important. That means Kiana Leotold's strategy to stay in second has almost, I mean, obviously you still have the slipstream effect, but it's sort of been destabilized. You know, he's not going to have that DRS advantage, so he has to completely use ERS and pace to win this race now. So it's going to be absolutely one to watch. Keep your eyes peeled on the last 2 laps of this race, but I think it's going to be in this lap.
Yeah, I've only once ever seen, and I think it might have been a glitch on that occasion where we saw a 1-lap shootout as well in the game, with the safety car being called on the penultimate and in on the penultimate lap as well. But most of the time, it's in this lap. So Extra Fox has been given another penalty. So as I said, these results are very, very provisional, so anything is possible. But yeah, definitely, as you said, Marco now needs to try and just run away on that restart. That's going to be Marco's main goal. So let's see if Marco is going to be able to just try and get away from the field. Safety car is going to be coming in as expected. So here we go then. This time it's going to be the Ferrari who will be leading the train and taking us back to a 2-lap shootout, and definitely the race of the season. Whatever happens in these last few laps, we have been treated to some fantastic action today. And it's going to end with a fantastic battle to decide who is going to take victory in the 5th round of the championship. The Ferrari, the Scarlet Ferrari right now, about to take us back to Green Flag Racing. Kenu's going to have to make sure that he stays behind and stays close behind as well. So let's see how he's going to get this restart. Nailed it last time, but he was leading. This time he's the chaser. Back to Green Flag Racing we go. The Ferrari driver gets on the power, takes us back out of the last corner of turn number 10 and onto the penultimate lap of this race. And a lot of ERS. That's going to be the deciding factor in this race. With, as we are obviously going to see, no DRS. So you have to make the moves with the ERS. Kenu is going to have a chance now. You can see he's using a lot of ERS. He needs to use this lap to get close, and he's also got to keep it. They're both deploying their ERS. Jelty Korsman gets a 3-second time penalty, but this is going to be a key deciding factor then. How close can Kenu stay to have a go on this last lap?
Wow, so he's really got to use the ERS. You can see he's already used half of his battery there, as has Marco Gurchik. So he really wants to keep this lead, but he's got the gap within 4 tenths. Kryzik's also only 5 tenths behind him, but that's quite a bigger gap. But then again, he also does have more ERS to play with. As we almost finish this lap, Keanu is he's almost like he's got it ready. He's got it under control. He's used a bit more ERS, but he just looks ready to pounce at any moment. But we're going to have a fantastic last lap of racing here. Who is going to come out on top? Is it going to be Connor Little? Is it going to be Marco Gurchik? Is it going to be Kryzik's? Here we go as we enter lap 36.
Absolutely incredible this last lap is going to be. Looks like there was some contact between Victor Vidler and Zach Miles, but all eyes go now to the front of the field to see if the Aston Martin driver can displace the Ferrari man off P1. We're on the final lap. The slipstream is being broken by Marco, and he's got a good advantage as we go down to turn number 3. So possibly a bit too much ERS used by the Aston Martin man of Kenu, who might have to settle for second unless something goes drastically wrong at the end. Keep an eye on Kryzik. He's going to have a go for second position. Defensive shape thrown by Kenu, and he tries to come back, and they're going to go side by side. Kryzik will try and go the long way around on this final lap, and he will be forced off the road and into the gravel, but he will continue on in second position. But Marco has been saved with no DRS at the end. He is going to hang on, and Kenu really applied some pressure on at the end. The safety car really plays into the favour of the Ferrari man. Marco is heading to the final 2 corners on the last lap after a brilliant race. It is going to be the Ferrari man who will make his way through the final corner. Look up and see the checkered flag first. We have 5 races. We have 5 winners in 5 races. Marco looks up and sees the checkered flag first and wins at the Red Bull Ring to take the 5th race of the season. Kenu is in second, Kryzik, then Felipe Souza, Menno, Hassett, Tristan, Mattia Ria, and then Tyus Korsman, Gregory completing the top 10, then Seb, Timo, Danny, Snake, Jelty Korsman, Extra Fox, Victor Riddler and Zach Miles were contenders earlier on, but they looks like had some contact. Finn, who gave us the last 2-lap shootout, and obviously it was Darth Vader who retired much more early on in the race to cause our first safety car. The second one was caused with some contact. Extra Fox as well, who was looking good earlier on in this race, but it all went away from him when the safety car started coming out and penalties followed his way as well. However, for the Ferrari of Marco, it's victory that follows his way, and this season has been phenomenal, but I think this has to be the best race of the season.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, Marco there going from P8 to P1 is absolutely amazing to watch. So big congratulations.
Yep, absolutely. Congratulations
As well.
to him.
Sorry.
You cut out there. Huh.
Oh, did I? Oh, he went from 18th to 4th. Felipe Sousa, so massive job from him. Yeah, so absolutely, that was a really good race. I think everyone watching that would have absolutely loved that. So, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Next time we're going to head to Monza for hopefully some more action as well. We didn't go there last season. In F5, we weren't able to bring you this race, Austria. Good that we are able to bring you this season. Me and Chiz were both covering F3 one season ago around the circuit. That was a phenomenal race, but so was this. So, it's Marco who ends it as the winner. These are still provisional. There's so much contact that really every single driver's position is not confirmed, including a race winner, because there would have been something that we might have missed, so anything is possible. So it's Marco, then Kenu, then Krajic's Felipe, then we have Felipe Sousa, Meno, Hassett, Tristan, Mattia, Tyus Korsman, Gregory Seb, Timo, Danny, Snakers, Jelty Korsman, X-Fox, Victor Vidler, Zach Miles, Alessandro Finn, and Darth Vader. Some of your retirements as well in that race, but I'm out of breath, and I'm sure the driver's also very tired after that race. That was really, as we've already mentioned, one of the best races of the season, as we'll also bring you now back to the cameras, so you have to deal with our faces once again. But that race, I have to say, definitely one of the best ones of the season, one of the best ones that I've done in PSGL as well, because that was just phenomenal. The amount of action that we had from the start to the end, it was just constant action, constant drama, and we obviously had on the last lap a bit of a battle for second, as there wasn't just enough ERS due to no DRS on the last lap. So I think it kind of did mean that Marco was a bit saved. However, he got himself in position before that safety car, so that definitely did help him.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a great race. I honestly really enjoyed watching that. What's up next week? I completely forgot. I literally checked earlier. I completely forgot. Mom's us. Hello?
Is Chiz still there with us? It looks like he's froze for us. He should be back hopefully any second as well with us when the camera does start moving, but it looks like we have lost him momentarily. And yeah, I think I've lost him also. He's still in the Discord call, but we're stuck on that camera for now. However, what I can tell you is, as I've already told you, we are heading to Monza next time out. After Monza, there we go.
My PC, I don't know what happened. I'm on my phone now, so
okay, then
carry on.
Yeah, so we'll stay then on the calendar as well. So it is obviously we've done Austria this week. We head then to Monza, then we head over to Singapore, and then we have our lovely Christmas break to end off 2023, going into 2024, then a new year, but the same season for us. Spain, Miami, Britain, and Bahrain as well. So it's definitely going to be a lot of great tracks to go racing out all the way till the end of this season, and then we should be back for one more season on this game before we take a little break once again to get ready for F1 24. But well, the first season on this game was absolutely brilliant. The second one is turning out to be as well, so we absolutely do love to see it. So really great to see all of these amazing tracks and all of these amazing races that we are getting by all of these drivers. So Chiz, we have Monza, Singapore, Spain, Miami, Britain, Bahrain remaining. which one would you say you're looking forward to the most?
Oof. I love Singapore. I think it's a beautiful race. Bahrain is also a lovely way to end the season. Britain's my home track. Monza's just an awesome track. I mean, it's so good. But yeah, I mean, I think yeah, it's going to be great to watch. Also, everyone tonight, thank you very much for watching. Honestly, has been absolute pleasure commentating tonight alongside Omi. So thank you.
Yep, has been absolutely incredible. So, unfortunately, that is going to be it. We've been treated to some fantastic action, but unfortunately, that is going to be it. Hopefully, you all have enjoyed today, seeing the fantastic race that we saw at Austria. This championship just gets better, just keeps getting better and better, and I'm sure it'll continue going into the next round at the Temple of Speed in Monza as we do that track for the first time in this game cycle. So, we want to thank absolutely everyone who has joined us, and hopefully you all had fun as well. Make sure you guys join us next time as well for Monza, as I'm sure it'll be just as good. So from myself and Chiz, it is first of all, go and also have a look at all of the other tiers that are taking place right now, and keep an eye also on E-Series that goes on a day before, so basically yesterday, but for you now, make sure you check it next week on Wednesday, along with also next week to start the week with the PS tiers as well. So we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Desperately trying to hang on. He's got the inside. Oh, here he's through on the left-hand side. Hooks the apex, gets on the power nicely, and that is job done. Jarno Opmeer now to the last couple of corners now. His finest drive, his greatest drive, and he's done it at the Circuit of the Americas. He returns to the top step of the podium. Once again, the GOAT is back. Jarno Opmeer wins the US Grand Prix in a stunning Grand Prix.